right, this is Joel Farrell with Mortgage Lending for Entrepreneurs. We are in downtown Denver, and I've got two amazing guests who I last saw in Las Vegas for like a minute at the One Rental at a Time conference.
Yeah.
I've got Jeff White and Suleyka. Thank you all for joining me and spending time out of your day.
Well, I think a big thing for her, which helps so much, is she grew up middle child. So she had to fight for attention, fight for everything she wanted, and
Share
share everything.
everything.
So she was used to almost, growing up, basically your siblings are all the roommates. You had to deal with roommates
I'm
all
the
the
middle
time.
of 5, so
Yeah.
it's like I've lived around people my whole life. So it
Is that
wasn't
dating
anything
advice
new.
right there? Like for those single guys out there, like go find yourself a middle child.
Middle child, yes, because they're more sharing, caring.
They're chill.
They don't expect too
They're not
much.
They don't expect too much.
Watch
That's
out
a
for the
good
only
one.
children.
You only children out there. Sorry to say. But... So that one paragraph, the one property paying for itself, and then logistics wise, FHA, you can only have one FHA loan at a time in that scenario. Conventional wasn't available. In those early conversations, was there talk about the next steps, the next properties? Like how did it all like fit together long term wise of like stacking? Or was it not really in that part of the vision at that point?
So my original goal is 10 FHA. I didn't know this with the one FHA. I was like, oh, we'll just do 10 fourplexes, 10 FHA loans, in 10 years, $500 a month each, or 5,000. I was like, that sounds pretty good. So I made that as like the initial goal, not knowing about the FHA rule. And then we kind of pivoted after that to like, okay, we can't do a multifamily, like direct, like duplex, with conventional. It has to be like a single family, just find the right zoning and all that. And we could keep going with 5% down. And that's where we pivoted until they changed, Fannie Mae changed the rules on that.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's kind of where it started and then how we pivoted. And we're like, well, multifamilies are usually worse anyways, at least in our market. And then the single families were much better condition.
Yeah, and we just thought like that'll be cool, like $5,000 extra a month. That's awesome. We never thought we'll be able to eventually leave our jobs. Like going into it at first, like we didn't think that wasn't right
No.
the goal. And then as the snowball effect started happening, that's when Jeff's like, babe, we might be able to like leave our jobs in a couple years and like this won't like retire early, literally retire earlier. It's like, wow. What? So that was awesome. I really liked that part. And it just really made us not care about whatever our living situation was. Jeff, when we were at the condo, had this like beautiful sports car where he was paying like $700 a month for his car payment. And he was like, yep, not worth it right now. Toss it to the side, was using public transportation, or sometimes I would be driving him around. And that lasted for years.
3
So
years.
3 years.
No
so much-
car.
no cars. So
Yeah.
much so that at one point, we ended up buying like this little, what is it, like a little Honda
No.
Cash or something?
No, it's a Mazda 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
So a Mazda. He had a car finally. I call him. I was like, hey, babe, when do you get off work so I can go pick you up? And he's like, I have a car now. Oh, shoot, I forgot. So it was just going on for so long that finally, you just bought this car cash and you were able to use it to get you around, but nothing flashy, anything we needed to downsize as far as spending, we did. And it was absolutely worth it. It was absolutely worth it in the end.
Go ahead.
Oh yeah, because I knew the debt to income ratio. I'm like, oh, this freaking car is $7 a month drag. I couldn't keep that condo either because they were gonna the HOA was gonna charge me if I rented it. So I knew how to sell that as well. I wanted to keep that condo, but they wouldn't let us. So we sold that, got rid of the car, and it's like, hey, we're just gonna reduce the expenses, go bare bones, and just pursue the strategy all in. And it thankfully worked, but we also, put in the time and effort to educate ourselves and learn to build up our weaknesses we made into strengths for sure over time. And now it's running more like a system than anything else.
What was the first vacation? So you say out loud, hey, babe, if we do this strategy, you'll be able to go on more vacations together. What was the first one that you guys planned?
Ooh, what was it? Like when you were like, we made it? Oh, good question.
I would say I'd be like Colombia, right? Yeah, I would say. So this is like what, 2022?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that
a
was
few like because obviously you're like small trips visiting family and stuff like that, which that counts but doesn't count because it's like you're there for your relatives. But for just us, yeah, I would say like the Columbia trip.
the cruise one
Yeah,
or the one after.
the cruise one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Like our anniversary.
yeah.
Yeah. So it was cool. It's a really good feeling. Even now, just random things that we're able to do like on a random Tuesday. I'm like, oh, this is all because of the sacrifice and the dedication that we put we put forth to be able to experience this right now. Um, little things that we look at, we're just like, we just feel so blessed and so grateful that we were able to live this out. And like, it is possible. It is possible to live the life that you want, to do whatever you want and not have to wait until you're like too old, or now you have all this money, but all the money goes to your medical expenses. And so you really just worked for that to
Mm-hmm.
pay medical expenses. I never saw that in my sphere of life or in my realm of life. So I knew somehow, some way life was going to be great for me. I just didn't know how, but little by little it started to unravel that this was it, that house hacking was the way to make that happen. And the cool thing is that it didn't just happen to us. It's not just like a fluke, like, oh, just because you guys, it's good for you guys, but not anybody else. Like this can be done by other people, families. Families live next to each other all the time. The only difference is they could be the owners of that fourplex or that duplex, but they're not. They're renters.
Mm-hmm.
And like they could be experiencing the same thing. And they don't have to get up to 10, it's just like whatever their number is. Maybe they just want bonus money, or maybe they do want to retire early. It's up to them. But it's so flexible in that sense where you can really like create what you want out of it, depending on how much sacrifice you want to put into it, how much you want to downsize, or maybe not drive your car for 3 years. It's like
That was
your
some of those
ego.
days I was like, okay, it's like 5 degrees outside, it's snowing, and yeah. And then it was the light rail, so it was like, yeah, this thing's late and I'm stuck out here all frozen.
Mm.
Yeah, so but I look at it as small sacrifice, right? Because that allowed us to save even more, allowed us to think about like do things better, and that we became like really good operators. And I think that's the big difference compared to other people that do the same strategy.
I want to dig into the operator part of it and like fast forward at some point on the last couple purchases and the numbers, because rates are higher than they were 4 or 5 years ago. Rates went from 3s to 6 in like a 6-month span from end of 21 into 2022. So it's a different market than it was years ago. So people that are starting out, it's going to be harder to afford things today and maybe see the vision of things working out from a house hacking and stacking standpoint. But you guys are on this journey. You're doing well. Are there, because again, you also have your real estate license and you specifically kind of hit this niche of investors and house hacking as well. But the people in your circles, friends, family, colleagues, has anybody saw what you guys are doing and wanted to follow down a similar path?
Yes, and I love that. They do. Previous tenants that have rented rooms from us, where they're like, wait, you guys are so young and you're like the landlords, like, how did that happen? Was it inherited or whatever? And we would tell them like, no, this is the thing. And we know that they have a good credit score, right? Because we checked their
We
background.
checked everything. Yep.
Like, you could do this too. And so sure enough, some of our tenants, they're on their third or fourth house hack. At one point, one tenant was like, do you mind if so-and-so could be my tenant over at my house? And Jeff's like, whatever's going to get you on your way. Like, absolutely.
Yeah.
So we had to get like 2 extra tenants for our house. But anything that can get the ball rolling. Yes. And I love that they felt inspired by it. And we're not gatekeepers at all. We're like, yes, please, by all means. Like, I would like I call myself sometimes like the Jehovah's Witness of like house hacking, because if I could go on every door, like, if you have any extra rooms, you can rent them out and cash flow.